Welcome back to Fight IQ Picks. It's your boy Johnny P. Last week we got him again, Manuel Cop. He did exactly like we said. He came out first round close, second round Horiguchi was working a little bit of wrestling, third round Horiguchi's cardio, you could tell it was dropping after that long second round wrestling exchange, and boom, boom, boom. Manuel Cop got us a cash, just like we said. Late TKO, 3, 4, 5. Go back and watch last week's video if you don't believe me. We also mentioned C-Rod. He came through. He looked dominant. The line swelled from minus 150 to minus 205 by the end of the week. And we laid in there. I didn't officially say it, but I did say it a little. So just take my word on it. We're 2-0 on the night. And that brings us to plus 21 and a half units on the last month. Now, if you're not here, if you're not subscribed, if you're not liking the videos, get on here. We're making money. If you like money, if you like UFC, if you like just hanging out with me, Johnny P, then let's hang out. But this week, we can't waste time on last week. We made some money, let's go. Now, Rafael Fiziev's taking on Manuel Torres. This is an amazing fight. They just keep getting, they stay good. UFC is doing a really great job here with this matchmaking. Fiziev is an exciting fighter, Muay Thai specialist. He's a coach at Tiger Muay Thai, so he's just great fun to watch. Manuel Torres, he's a first round finisher. Pretty much as all he's done in his finish is just round one, and he's a lot of fun to watch. He's explosive, and this fight pretty much comes down to, well, it's pretty much 3 fights in one: skill versus violence. Can Torres beat an elite tier fighter? And is Rafael Fiziev still Rafael Fiziev? You know, that's why this line is near a pick 'em where it is. Now, we'll start with Manuel Torres. The guy is pure violence. He throws 100% with every shot. He's got crazy pressure. He doesn't care. He's a fighting machine. He just marches guys down, lands big shots, and ends the fight. You know, 5 fights ago, he fought Moda. He got hurt early, little wobbled. He recovered quick and landed a big step and elbow. You couldn't tell if it was an elbow, if it was just a straight right, but it was so fast and smooth. He dropped him like a bag of dirt and moved on. Then he went on to Chris Duncan, who was also on a run of his own. If we just saw he had a main event, he hurt him immediately, and Duncan recovered a little bit in the clinch, but he ended up getting a submission, and it looked great too. And then they put him in Sphere, and it was a big card, a big stage, big audience. It was a Mexican theme, and it was a great fight. But with Braha Mondays there, he couldn't get in on the reach, and it was a little bit concerning there. His chin was up, he got rocked, and he got back up within about 10 to 15 seconds, and he just rushed right back in. It showed me a little bit low fight IQ there, because he didn't give himself time to recover. He didn't give himself a chance to wrestle and maybe get his wits back. He marched right back in with that crazy pressure, and he got dropped again. So that was a little bit of red flag. Then he came in with Drew Dober, landed a perfect 1-2, put Dober down, and just landed kill shots on the ground. Game over. And then he came in against Grant Dawson, who also has some grappling, and this was the quick knockout. Now, we've seen Dawson go down before since the King Green knockout, and he's got a bit of a chin issue. But again, it showed Torres is maturing, and he respected the wrestling that, and he still just marched him down, and he dropped him, and it was beautiful. It was a great fight. Now, those are his last 5 fights. Now, he showed power. He's elite. He's got pressure. He's elite. His defense, little questionable at times there. And then also that fight IQ. When he did get hurt against Braha Mondays, his IQ wasn't fully there. But okay, let's go on to Fiziev a little. Fiziev is one of the most technical fighters at 155. Like I said, he's a coach at Tiger Muay Thai. It's a lot of fun to watch this guy. The stance switching is so fast, so fluid. You can't tell if he's orthodox, southpaw. He's going back and forth all the time, throwing kicks every direction. It's fun. It's a lot of fun to watch Fiziev. He's looked incredible early, almost in all these last 5 fights. You know, he's 1-4 in his last 5, but when we're looking at these fast combinations, he's got great knees. He pretty much has won round 1 in all 5 of those fights. And in some of those fights, the damage started him out and late cardio dropped. Now, some of these fights were short notice. Some of these fights were he's putting out the most output you've ever seen. And it still was highly competitive. But 5 fights ago, he fought Justin Gaethje. Now, that was a great fight. And it went back and forth. Steve came in at like a minus 220 favorite. And it was really close. It was definitely 1-1 going into 3, and Gaethje just showed a little bit more durability, more cardio there in the end, and got the third. And but then he came in the fight right after that, and he fought Gamrot, who's a pure wrestler, and he was looking great in the first, defending takedowns, really good takedown defense, which I don't think that's going to come into play. But he ended up hurting his knee, and it was a kick through. Now you couldn't tell if he heard it on the kick getting blocked or if he heard it on the down when he brought his leg down, because it's so fast with his kicks and whatnot. But his knee definitely got jacked up there. And then, not too long after that, it wasn't even that long of a turnaround after the Gamrot injury. He came back, well, I guess it was a little bit, close to a year, but he came back again against Gaethje. Again came in the favorite, -160. And again, this one was short notice too, and he still came out round one. Gaethje took over in 2, and the third round again, Fiziev cardio dropped, but he showed that he was a little bit more technical this fight because he knew maybe the cardio was going to drop off, and it was a competitive fight, and now we see where Gaethje's at. So, that's a big thing. And then he fought Mondays. Now, Brahim and Mondays, it was like a chess match. These two were switching stance so fast, back and forth, playing each other. It kind of, it was fun to watch for fight fans. If you were an average fight fan, you might not thought it was as fun because it was a lot of just chess play. But he definitely outpointed Brahim Mondays over 3 and won that fight. And he was able to still find the range there. And then most recently, he came in and fought Mauricio Rufy. And he came out and he won round 1, but he got a little careless in 2. And Rufy's got that death touch where he ended up dropping Rufy. Or Rufy ended up dropping him and getting the TKO finish. He just couldn't find the recovery. Now, all that being said, if we look at the strength of the schedule there, Fiziev's strength of schedule is like a 9.5 out of 10. Through the roof. He's fought champion. This guy's going to be fighting for champion. Brahim Mondays is super good. Gamrot's really good. And before that, he came in, he's fighting top tier. Torres, he's fought Moda, Duncan, lost to Brahim Mondays, fought Drew Dober, who's on his way out, and Grant Dawson, who we all know has glass chin. Now, in these last 5 fights, he's looked amazing. But who has he beat? Could Fiziev knock these 5 guys out? Sure. He just beat Brahim Mondays. He didn't knock him out, but could he knock out the other 4? Sure. And that brings me back to, can Fiziev does he still have it? I thought he was older than he is. He's only 33 here. He just has a lot of fights, and he looks good. And can Torres come out and knock him out right away? Sure. Is that likely? I don't think so. I think the Rufy touch there is different. I think it's on the level of Pratas, and I think it's on the level of, Alex Pereira. I think those type of guys have that one touch power. Do I think Torres's power is good? Yeah. But do I think he's going to sleep Fiziev? Probably not. I think Fiziev is super durable, and I think his durability is underrated because of that last loss to Rufy. That's why I think this line is where it's at. And, it's going to be a really fun fight. Now, the real questions are, can Torres break Fiziev down? I just don't think so. And Fiziev has more paths to victory than Torres. Fiziev can come out, and he did land some takedowns on Justin Gaethje, so now he's starting to show that in his wheelhouse. Can Torres take him down? I highly doubt it. So Torres' only path to victory is to knock him out early, and it seems like Torres, too, later in the first round seems to get a little bit winded, but we haven't really seen him much outside of the first round. When we did see him in the second, he got dropped twice by Brahim Mondays. So, I'm leaning Fiziev here. I think the real question is the miles building up on him. Is he on his way out? I still don't think so. I think he's just been fighting killer's row. And I think Torres here, this is a big step up in competition for Torres. Torres is 31, but Fiziev's only 33. Tapology's got 60% of the audience picking Torres. I just don't see it. It seems like we're on the opposite side every week, and it seems like it's been paying off for us. So, we're seeing the board well. I don't see any way to get out Fiziev. I thought the line was going to be closer to -150, -170 in that range, and it's closer to a pick'em. So I do like it. I do have 3 units already on it because I do think the line will start to move when people start to see, hey, this line is weird. He just got knocked out by Rufy, but he wasn't even knocked out. He got rocked a little. I talked to Dana White the other day, friend of the show, and he told me that Fiziev's fine. So, there you go. I take his word for it. He told me about that fight too with Manuel Torres and Joshua Van. It's a beautiful fight. It's coming up in December. You watch. I called it on the last, when we were talking about what's going to happen here. He's already got the fight. I don't even know where I saw that. I found a secret email or a secret website or something. I think it was Dana White, friend of the show. But yeah, so we're going to get back on it. We got some more fights coming. I got, 2 more I'm working on. I'm pretty sure we got some strong plays coming for this weekend. And we're killing the board. We're killing the books. Hide your kids, hide your wife, because well, don't hide your wife and your kids. Just hide the money from the sports books, because we're coming for it. All right, look out. Fight IQ picks. We're back again. We'll have another video out this week. We're going to do 2 this week. We're trying to get ahead of the game and trying to stay in the money. All right, so come back and see us again. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Thank you all for visiting. And to my 13, 16 subscribers, I love you. All right, peace. Johnny P.